FCT Minister Wike says it's untrue that he promised President Bola Tinubu to hold down the People's Democratic Party during a meeting as claimed by the Oyo State Governor in a recent media parley. Political crisis may be brewing in Kano State as alleged defection move by a Kano State Governor appears to be splitting interests in the state's ruling New Nigeria People's Party. Hello and welcome to Politics Today, reaching you live from our global headquarters here in the nation's commercial nerve center, Lagos, Nigeria. I'm smiling because it's almost the end of the year. I hope it's also good for you as well. So today is 29th, so we have 30th and 31st. And before long, in 72 hours or so, we'll be saying Happy New Year to a brand new year. And a lot, the dynamics as far as the polity and the politics is concerned will begin to change. But we're seeing a build-up to that moment. It started way before now. And our responsibility, as always, is to bring you up to speed with all of this that is happening today. And today we're going to talk core politics. But let's talk about something that, a sad incident that occurred today earlier. International boxing champion Anthony Joshua was involved in a road accident in Mako area of Ogun State. The incident, which happened around 11 a.m. earlier today along the heavily trafficked Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, led to the death of 2 persons. Reports indicate that an SUV transporting Joshua collided with a stationary truck. However, the exact circumstances of the crash are still under investigation. A video of the incident just you've seen, the 35-year-old former heavyweight champion being rescued from the wrecked vehicle appears to have suffered injury. So the officials of traffic officials have spoken about this incident. Let's take a listen to them.
What we'll discover was that men at Shagam unit informed us of the unfortunate incident. From what we got to understand was that there was a trailer that was parked at the shoulder, whereby the vehicle conveying Anthony Joshua and his team did a wrongful overtake, and they ran into that vehicle, which was definitely because of the overspeeding. I didn't mean they were not overspeeding, probably that wouldn't have been that fatal. Now, from the report we have 5 people were involved in the total. 2 people lost their lives, and the rest just had injuries. He was not among the people that died anyway, but the DSS details that were with him took him to an undisclosed location, took him to an hospital, but he was not seriously injured, from what we discovered. So what other details do you want us to know? What our men did was to carry those that lost their life to the nearest morgue there, so they've been deposited there, and the road was later cleared from every other form of obstructions.
Quite a very sad incident. We're not sure who, but the stories as to his close friends or bodyguards or so were part of those who lost their lives. I think 2 persons, I think the driver and the bodyguard. But all of this detail will be out as we get further explainers from the authorities. But our thoughts and our prayers are with the persons who lost their lives in that particular incident. Away from that, let's talk about what is playing out. Interesting times ahead for Kano politics, which has now been thrown into fresh tension following reports of a planned defection by the governor, Abba Yusuf, from the New Nigeria People's Party to the All Progressives Congress, a move strongly opposed by the party's leadership and its national leader, Senator Robi Kwankwaso, as we understand. The development is said to have sparked internal disagreements within the NNPP, particularly between supporters of the governor and loyalists of the Kwankwasia movement founded by Kwankwaso. In a statement on behalf of the NNPP in Kano and at the national level by the Kano State Chairman, Hashim Dangorowa, says the party was fully aware of the unfolding political development and situation and does not support any defection to the APC. Dango Rawa disclosed that the party made several efforts to persuade those involved to remain patient and stay within the NNPP in the interests of the people of Kano State. So it appears that this defection is not over yet. Interesting time. But the Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, earlier today had a media parley, his usual media parley. This was called the end-of-year media parley, where he had the opportunity to respond to some of the things that has been said. For instance, a few days ago, the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, had said that at a meeting where he was with other persons, including Nyesom Wike and himself, the FCT minister had unsolicited, without being solicited for, told the president that he's going to hold down the PDP for the president in 2027, perhaps giving credence to the fact that this is why Nyesom Wike is doing the things he's doing. Now, Nyesom Wike had the opportunity to respond today, and this is what he said.
All this while, to tell the party, see what Wike is doing. I was in a meeting and see what Wike said. It's not correct. And let me put the record straight. There was no such meeting. Rather, my humble self, the former governor of Benue State, Otom, the former governor of Abia State, Ibazu, the former governor of Enugu State, Ugwaye, and Seyi Makinde, we went to see president.
That's the G5.
Yes, we went to see president to discuss, of course, elections were over, to discuss about certain things. While we were there, the chief of staff, of course, you should know that the chief of staff is always around the president. I was one who said, look, chief of staff, I'll come and show that you can, remind the president of what we have discussed. There was nothing like a meeting. We booked to go and see Mr. President. So you could not, it is completely out of place for anybody to say that in that meeting, I said to Mr. President, I will hold PDP down for you. That's very unfair. Very, very unfair. Totally unfair. And you see, I have told everybody, frustration, if you can see it, you watch Magende on that media, you can see frustration. And this is a young man who have advised severally. Politics is not like being a contractor with Shell. Politics is not like being a contractor with a mobile. It has different rules.
Well, it looks like politics has different rules. Only the politicians can explain what these rules are. But we have a lot to unpack. I'm going to be speaking with a former military administrator. Also, it's an elder statesman and somebody who has been in the political space for as long as it has lasted that who is going to break some of the issues around politics, the opposition, and national politics, and even the issues of national security down in just a moment. But let's bring you our political roundup stories.
The federal government has emphasized the importance of accountability of receipts across the three tiers of government as a prerequisite for sustainable national development. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. George Akume, made the call at St. John the Baptist Cathedral, Boko, Benue State, during a Thanksgiving church service as part of activities of the festive season. Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State has granted amnesty to 32 inmates and pardoned one person. The 33 inmates are selected from the 4 correctional centers of the state after the remittance of their fines. The governor carried out his constitutional duty as part of activities to mark his 66th birthday and urged the beneficiaries to live responsible lives and conduct themselves in ways that could enable their smooth reintegration into the society. To Kogi State, where Governor Usman Ododo officially launched the online registration for the All Progressives Congress APC in his Upogoro ward in Okene local government area of Kogi State. This event marked the beginning of the APC's electronic registration across the state. The event brought together party leaders, supporters, and important stakeholders to witness the launch. During the event, Governor Ododo also registered himself on the digital platform, showing his support for the new process, noting that the online registration is important because it will help to make the party stronger and more organized. Strengthening the grip and power ahead of the 2027 general elections and the security situation. This formed the main features of the meeting between Governor Inua Yahaya of Gombe State and the National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Professor Nentawe Yowata, alongside Governor Caleb Muftwang of Plateau State. The meeting took place at the Gombe State Government House in the state capital. Professor Nentawe stated that the party leadership is working towards strengthening its structure across all levels ahead of the election.
Welcome back. So let's talk politics. Being joined on the program by Chief Bode George. Chief Bode George is an elder statesman and a board member, life member of the PDP Board of Trustees. Chief, good to see you, and compliments of the season, sir.
I wish you the same, and I wish Nigerians a much better year ahead and more peace ahead, and a lot of less noise about the status, about the infighting in our nation. I pray very seriously for my country, and it shall be well with us. If we
Amen.
put the fear of God ahead of us and treat every other human being, no matter his tribe, treat every other human being as your own brother. All this tribal nonsense, religious bigotry, insensibilities, a lot of rubbish, garbage talk, and this unnecessary movement is going to give us hell.
Okay, sir.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
I keep praying for us. I keep praying for us because you see, look, my brother, the painful part of it is this. The giant of Africa. I mean, you forgot? We liberated South Africa, did so much to liberate Rhodesia. Central Congo was also our key point. Somali, we took part. In Syria alone, we took part. We liberated Liberia. So what is happening to us? What is going on?
Yeah, Chief, if I may comment, if I may comment, I can see you're already firing from all cylinders. I wanted to start light. We're already going heavy. I wanted to first wish you a happy 80th birthday or so.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
On behalf of everyone, we wish you a very happy 80th birthday. You look quite healthy and very strong for your age. And thank you for your national service whenever we call on you to come and make sense of the situation of national politics and all of that. But I can see you're already in the zone. So let's get back to that zone. Let's get back to the zone. Yeah. And let's begin from your party. In the last 1 week, there's been it was a face-off. Now it has become like a triangle. So it was Seyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, that fired the shot that said they were in a meeting with the president, perhaps the G5, maybe trying to negotiate what politicians negotiate after the election was won. It was that in that meeting, according to him, that Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, told the president, I'm going to hold PDP down for you in 2027. He said he was surprised. He left and he said, when did we discuss it? Well, between then and now, Ayo Fayose, the former governor of Ekiti State, has come out with an accusation about some 50 billion that was released for some intervention because of the Bode George incident. Well, he said, no, that was what was requested, but what was released was 30 billion, and tried to explain all of that. Now, today, Nyesom Wike has now replied and said, look, first, there was no such thing. It was unfair for him to say what he said. What do you make of this? Because what is going on right now, Chief, is that where the PDP is right now, it's almost like in a limbo, because the INEC itself can't talk to any of the warring faction, whether it's a pro-Wike or pro-Seyi Makinde. Nobody is able to communicate with INEC. Sir, go ahead, please.
You know, I thank you for giving me this opportunity. You know, when it all started, I said, and I won. The whole party, we were at the NEC meeting, that, look, we are disrupting the procedure established by the founding fathers of our party. Right now, some of them will be, be feeling extremely very angry in their graves because they are dancing on their graves. We want all these people, the group that went, they left, discountenanced the procedure established by the founding fathers. 8 years of a presidential candidate from the north, he will come back to the south for another 8 years. All these things were standardized and practiced. But for some people who decided that willingly they will be the presidential candidate on the platform of our ticket, I rejected it then. I told you they were creating something they will never be able to be proud of in the future. Now, this gave birth to the G5 people. And then after some time, they invited some of us who said, no, it cannot be the way Atiku and his group were running the party. No. And after some time, Ayu disappeared. Then they called some of the old ones, myself, Professor Jerry Gana, General Jang, to be members of their group. I said, okay, what are your intentions? You got to handle this thing with a lot of care. We went on, we were discussing, the G5 were all on their own. Then occasionally they bring the elders in. Now, I will tell you one thing that happened. 2 days before the general election, we were, in fact, Mimiko was also with us at that time. So I kept asking, what is going on? What are the intentions of these young people? I call them, and we all call them our political sons. No, so suddenly we said, look, we haven't heard anything. What plans do you have? You hear they've gone to London for a meeting, they've gone here and all that. So eventually they called a meeting in Abuja 2 nights before the general election. And it was Wike and Sheyi who came. They said they had come to brief us. And what he said at that meeting, he said, Abba, you are the chairman, sit down here beside him. So I folded my hands listening. He said, we had looked at, that's them, the G5. We had looked at the situation, the political situations. We are heading back out now in 2 days' time. And that they had decided, their proposal is that Obi and Bola Tinubu are the two contestants in the South. We should decide on which one we are going to support. And he then said they had looked at it and they concluded it has to be Bola Tinubu. Immediately he said that, he looked at me and I said to him, never. You have no idea. Most of you don't even know who this gentleman is. I will not support him. And I looked around the table there because there were many, only 2 governors, but there were so many other members. I said, look, you cannot decide unilaterally like that. That the 5 of you have met, you have, looked at it, and you have concluded it has to be between Obi and Bola that they are going to support Bola. And I said, look, let me advise you. because I don't agree with this statement you are making. This is PDP. Now, how do you want to do it? You want us to now go out, you will make a pronouncement and say that we are now supporting Bola as against the mess, which Atiku and his group were doing. So he said, okay, Baba, what do you want us to do? I said, okay, you want to listen to my advice? Fine. What I believe you should do is to make sure that you allow all the states in the south, Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Ondo, all, including the southeast and south, who are our own party members, let them go back to their states, discuss, debate, and make a conclusion. Don't force anybody on them. Because if you do that, and you tell me that I should go there and go and vote, as you are making your statement, to the press after this meeting, I will say I am not part of it. And you know what that means. Let everybody go back to their states, discuss, debate, and take a decision. And whatever decision you take, we leave it like that. Don't impose anybody to the people. That was my advice. That was the last time I remember we sat together. So if you listen to what Sheyi said that they now went later and they voted on that side, and that he was, they now later on, they went to greet the president, and that kind of thing happened. I don't know. So, but this is the story. Professor Ghana was there, General Jang was there, and some of the founding fathers that were there. Now, you can see what we kept telling them. Political history, you cannot hide it forever. Now, to me now, and I want to take a costly advice to them, enough of this shenanigan. In politics, whatever you want to do within your system, you get out there.
All right, Chief. Let me come in for a moment, Chief, as you build on that thought, because everybody has chronicled how the party got here. In fact, I think there was enough anti-party activity to go around in 2023, depending on who you're looking at. Literally, a lot of the political class in your party, most of you were, involved in one form or the other. So, but right now, the situation is that as we speak, PDP cannot present anybody for the Ekiti or the Osun governorship election. The reason is simple, because INEC had a meeting with the two camps to say, guys, what exactly is going on? Perhaps looking for a way forward. It doesn't look like there was a way forward. Candidates have emerged. Let's be factual on that. Candidates have emerged from the Turaki camp. But right now, INEC is saying there are two subsisting court judgments. The one instituted by some chairman and the one by Sule Lamido, talking about how the convention should not have held and how it should have held since it didn't go through the process. So INEC is saying for now, there cannot be communication because there's a motion on notice and appeal. Pending when that is determined, we cannot change anything on the website to say you're the new leadership or otherwise. So that's where it's like a limbo. Right now, it has to be a solution because the PDP is denying the country of a robust opposition. You're the only party right now, perhaps, that has more governors in the opposition, even though they are dwindling by the day. What's the way forward?
Look, the words of the elders. I want to advise Professor Mukwiton. I hope I got his name right. They got to be very careful. Our nation is drowning by the hour. The experience we had recently from the United States, I said, this is what is going on with the giant of Africa? Why is it that people now have lost the depth of civility, the depth of respectability to the common people of Nigeria? Why? All of a sudden, everybody is running to one side, whether it is right or wrong. Nobody cares. But the majority of the citizens who are going to cast their vote, and I am hoping that they will not, nobody must manipulate the result. What is happening? They are telling us they don't know who to trust. How can they say that? That's INEC. How? The joke that Wike and some of his people are doing, you can see most of his friends now have been made ambassador. The others have run to join the party there so that there can be only one party system in Nigeria. Is that possible? You can only know the beginning of a crisis. Nobody can know how it's going to end up. I keep repeating the issues that came up in 1962. And I remember vividly what Papa Awolowo said in the parliament. You can only know the beginning of a crisis. Nobody knows how it will end up. I am begging all these people. Now, Wike that is talking, is shouting, is doing. Does that add any value to that country, Nigeria? Is there any human being that can be long-lasting, that you will not pass on someday? What are they looking for? You are openly castigating your friends, the people who even made you. He insulted me too. I see him as my son, political son. How old is he? What has he done to be so knowledgeable? In politics, there's a lot of patience. In politics, there is a lot of calmness and understanding. Otherwise, what we are being looked at outside the world is disgraceful. You know, Seyi, I listened to his broadcast, to his chat. Even if you know, let some of your friends, not our own age group anymore, I'm getting tired. We had a super convention in Ibadan. You are talking about Lamido, who went to say we didn't do it that way. One, I said it before and I will say it again. I told him and I advised him, please don't disrupt this party. Don't mess up this party. And
all right, Chief. My apologies, Chief. Yes, my apologies, Chief. We're due for a break. We'll come back to continue with that trail of thought, because I just remembered now that there has been counter suspensions on all sides. They suspending you people. You also suspending. No, expulsion, not suspension. Expulsion. I should use the right word.
This is the greatest. This is the greatest joke in that country.
Yeah, we'll take a break, Chief. We'll take a break. When we come back,
those people, are they members of our NEC?
We'll take a break.
Most of them have been expelled from the party. Okay, when you come back, I will continue.
The party. We'll take a break, Chief. When we come back, we'll build on that and other national issues of very important national importance. We'll take this break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. My guest is Chief Bode George. Is a former military administrator in Ondo State, also a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, serving as a life member of the Board of Trustees and also an elder statesman. Chief, thank you so much for staying with us. Let's build on what you were saying. I was just doing some numbers, but before I get to those numbers, okay, maybe let me do the numbers. So I'm looking at it.
Yes.
As we speak right now, about 28 governors are in APC, which is about 77% of the total number of governors. About 76, 78 senators, which is about another 70+%. The same 70-something percent of the House of Reps members are APC. So if we look through the zones, PDP just has 2 members in the northeast, 2 governors in the northeast. That should be Adama and Bauchi. Zamfara is the only one in the northwest. Plateau is 1 leg in, 1 leg out in north central because they are literally gone. South gone. Oyo is the only one remaining in the southwest, and southeast, no PDP members. Now, a lot of things have been said against Nyesom Wike. In fact, I was reading a statement by the PDP in Yememobong, the publicity secretary said, is a permanent agent, provocateur, recurrent troublemaker who thrives on perpetual conflict. But this is a man who has also built the party. He's played a key role in helping the PDP to be where it is today. So there has to be, in closing this conversation around PDP, before we go to others, is there a way out? Because the way things are right now, it's almost good to go for the APC, if we want to be fair.
Yes, let me tell you something. Yes, it looks like everything goes for them. In any civilized country, there will be certain activities ensuring that they put a smile on the faces of the electorate. What has the APC government done that you have a flood of people running to that side? I am a general, and I've been everywhere in my life. Before you start hopping and jumping, won't something attract you to that side? What is attracting these people? And for God's sake, the governors, like you have said, senators, they are not the real owners of the party. Yes, they are leaders, but you don't own it. The decision for you to be so honored and be elected to a position will depend on the satisfaction of your performance or the laurels you have brought before the electorate. The power must come from them. Because everybody is heading there, and I kept saying, wait a minute. The number you have now, the data you are just giving us now, what value has it added to the common man in Nigeria? The poverty level, the cost of food, the cost of common things are not coming down. So what is it that they want to tell us that we are going to use to convince the electorate to join them? Since Buhari's time, what did APC do to the common Nigerian? What? Unless you want to deceive yourselves. And now in January now, they are going to start another taxation based on nothing. There are rumors going all over the place. The amount of whatever those people approved in the National Assembly, that is not what is in the package. All sorts of things. Nigeria is a blessed nation. There is no known asset, minerals, human resources that we don't have. Boku like sand, like they say in my part of the world. But for God's sake, what is it that is driving all these governors down there so that you can win and then continue in this manner? It is the greatest short run for big trouble. Look, it started like a joke. Nobody knows how it will end up. Are Nigerians That's the base. That is the base that should concern all of us. No governor, this, senator, that, this and all that. How many times have they put a smile on the faces of their people? How many times? So we should consider, they have thrown it into the dustbin and now flagging themselves. They are running to the villa. Oh, because to them, it is that villa that will give directives to Agbopeton to say, yes, this man has won, or this one didn't win, and then they keep manipulating. You remember the last election too, when Buhari bought the necessary tools. What did we do? We said there was a glitch. So let's reverse back. Mr. Agbopeton, there should be no glitch in this system. There should be no glitch in this system. We are advising, we are talking. All these people come back now to PDP. How can you now? No, let me tell you this. Okay. How can you? We held a NEC meeting. You know, in terms of graduation, the highest body of the PDP is the convention. The next body is the NEC. We had a NEC meeting, approved that there should be a convention. They made all the arrangements and all that. All of a sudden, we must counter it. First of all, for Lamido, I am still shell-shocked about what he did, because I had known him as a highly responsible, respectable, dignifying human spirit. He walks in to the office of Anyang and my son, Bature, on the returning day, the day you were supposed to return every form you had filled to compete. That was when he walked in. And let me tell you something. Chief. No, you see, if you don't explain it in a manner so that the real powerful people who will vote,
I do not intend
listen to us.
Yes, I do not intend to stop you, Chief, but for want of time, I need to move from the politics to other issues. I know you've raised the question about, and I want you to assess the Tinubu administration management of the economy. So this is what I would tell you that the government says as far as they are concerned. The foreign reserve undoubtedly has increased, record high within a period of time, over $40 billion. The GDP, if you annualize and prorate it, we're talking 3.7, although they projected 4.6. Inflation is down to 14%, albeit rebased. There's also the issue of the FX is now stable because stability guarantees growth. There has to be stability for growth. They are saying it's high, but it's stable. I'm giving you the point. Tax reform that has been put forward, they say it's going to help a lot of the poor and the middle class people because of what is put together. There's a push, strong push for LG autonomy as well. State police is in the works. So it looks like there are certain things the government may be getting right, even though there are certain things they are not getting right. Isn't that enough for these men to begin to consider their alliances?
Look, let me tell you something. I am basically an engineer, all right? And I also read my business administration and got the degree. You know, the difference between those who are in these economic entities, the basic thing in economics, it is a social science. A social science is not an exact science. Because as far as economics equations will have parameters to deal with human behavior, it cannot be exact science. All these stories they are telling you, it goes up, it comes down, it is that. What about all the money they are borrowing? What about the money they are borrowing? He said, oh, the exchange rate now is stable, and that's all manipulated. Now, what should interest you is to go to the market, any market in Nigeria, find out from the people that we are going to go out and campaign. We are going to talk to the people. Oh, what is interest rate is this, something that is that. Has it affected the cost of the common food in the market? Has he put a smile on the faces of people? So what are they talking about? All this data you are reading, something is this, that is going out, this is going down, and all that's all human stories. It's not an exact science. It's not a physical science. Social science, things that have human behavior. Have you been able to put a smile on the faces of Nigerians, including even the wealthy? No. So you see, take a little example. In America today, where President Trump came with certain ideas that he was going to run through that. He's only spent almost 9 months. The hunger that they are still shouting there, that there's plenty of hunger here. The cost of items in the market, even when they say, oh, people were still buying things and all that. Last night, the one lady said openly and proudly that only those wealthy rich were able to buy items at that time.
All right, Chief.
So who is fooling who? So I want you to, we will take it out there, but let Mr. Amokpito and all those people working there,
Chief.
They must not bring disgrace to this nation.
We'll take another break, Chief, and when we come back, my apologies.
They should allow the choices of the people.
My apologies, Chief. We'll take it.
Choices of Nigerians to reflect.
We'll take another break, Chief, and when we come back, my apologies, Chief. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll land on some other issues that has to do with the rising profile of the ADC, as well as the military strike by the United States in collaboration with the Nigerian government. You're a former military man, so you will have your excerpt on this. We'll stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Chief Bode George is still with me on the program. Chief, thank you so much for staying with us. As we begin to wind down, ADC seems to be rising its profile, although they don't have any, governorship, any governor and all of that. But I don't want us to miss the opportunity to talk about your forte, which has to do with the military. Now, we've seen the U.S. strike in collaboration with the Nigerian government, but that has generated a lot of talk. I don't know what your reaction is. One of the things that has been generated is first, there are no casualty figures being released, how many terrorists were killed or the ammunition that were destroyed. But on all sides, whether the U.S. or Nigeria say it was very successful, we have details of the Tomahawk that was released and launched from the Gulf of Guinea, but they're silent on numbers of casualties as far as the terrorists are concerned. Also, there was an argument to the fact that why would the American government be the first to reveal the assault on these terrorists rather than the Nigerian government, since it was a collaborative effort? So what's your take on all of this?
As a retired naval commodore, my specialization when I was in the Navy was weapons systems engineer officer. So, one, I wouldn't like to get into a public discussion when it comes to military operation. Yeah, you said there are counter issues. Some tell you this, the others are telling you that. This kind of a discussion must be held with special people in the country, all sides, all leaders, in a closed-door meeting to let us know the truth about this, the facts about this. Because, when it comes to intelligence gathering and operation, It's not every time you open your flanks to the world. You remember when there was the issue of the nuclear power thing that the Iranians were doing, and so many other, issues were put on the table, and nobody actually told you the facts. All we heard from the U.S. is that they hit the those areas where they were still making the nuclear bomb. And then the Iranians too kept quiet. They were hiding. Eventually, we were told that they had moved that stray a bit away from that tunnel. So it's not an issue that I would have been very calm to discuss it in a closed session. It's our nation. If you want to hear the truth, you know what is actually going on, you combine yourselves, because you want the best for the people of this country, on both sides. Some people are angry now, and some people are still, saying, yes, it is this, it is that. And our government is saying, yes, it was in collaboration with them. Who? In collaboration with who? People will keep on asking the questions. So while we are sorting ourselves from the local menace within the system, we are being faced also by the international community. And one thing I would like to advise politically, because, my training, doesn't give me the opportunity to dissect it in pieces and all that, because we are still just heading into the real heat. But for God's sake, look at our past, the giant of Africa. Is this the way we should live ourselves? Is this the way we should now get all the governors to be in one political party? No, sir. We need to be more serious. There is hunger in the land. There is anger in the land. I beg you people. One thing I've always said, even
all right, Chief, we're totally, my apologies, Chief.
Yeah.
We're totally out of time entirely. I just have, we're totally out of time. But I think you've made your point very clearly for anyone who listens. We must thank you so much, sir, for coming on the program. We really do appreciate it.
I thank you also. And I still wish every Nigerian a better 2026.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We must make life more meaningful and be honest with ourselves.
Chief, thank you, Chief. Thank you so much. Chief Bode George is a board member, is a BOT member, Board of Trustees member, life member of the BOT of the PDP, and an elder statesman. Thank you so much for your time and company. Remember, tomorrow we have a special program right here on Channels Television. It's our end-of-year program. It's 2 days, tomorrow and the next, where we'll cover politics, economy, security, education, technology, judiciary, and more. Almost 4 hours each day. So from 6 p.m. to 9:45 tomorrow and the next, we'll be right here to break it down for you. Thank you for watching. Jeffrey, bye-bye.